Everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the Preacha-OK. So, yes, I kind of forgot the title just that fast. I would blame it on the aging, but, it may not be just that alone. That's so funny. But, um, but yeah, I think the topic is, marriage, of course, but I kind of forgot the angle I was trying to slide in on. I mean, I could get my other phone and look at the title, but I do have my comments on as I try to remember. But but you know, Jesus Christ, the concept of Jesus Christ in the Bible. I'm just speaking, just like brainstorming, just speaking in general. I'm not being specific, per se, like going to specific scriptures or anything like that. Just conversation. And the comments are open as well. Please click like, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and share the video as well. So anyway, Jesus Christ married us all. We're considered his bride as believers. As believers, let's just assume that we're all believers here. Okay. So off the rip, we're believers. So we are, you know, his bride. He married us. That's what this whole past weekend was all about. And was it this past weekend? Yeah, the weekend before, perhaps. Okay, so this is a fresh weekend. Yeah, guys, I'm all over the place. But yeah, last weekend. So we're in a weekend right now. Today is Saturday. So last weekend, okay, just being clear, that's what that weekend was all about. You know, what he went through to become our husband. And I think where we as people make mistakes with one another is we expect for one another to do for each other what Jesus has already done. He already suffered. He already went through whatever he had to go through, so that each of us individually can be where we are. So we don't have to go above and beyond in the manner that Jesus did just to be in a relationship with one another per se. You know what I mean? You know. So we're here to treat each other, within the range that we treat ourselves. That's the best we can do. As well or as bad as I treat myself is what you're going to get from me when it comes to you. And likewise, I can't expect for you to treat me any better or worse than you treat your own self, so to speak. I see a few comments here. Hi. Hi, Keith. There's Marcus. Is the screen supposed to be black? Yes. Yes. The screen is supposed to be black. Yes, it is. I mean, I guess I could throw a hat on and flip the screen, but I'm not feeling it. I flow better. I free flow better when it's a black screen. And I think is it because I used to dance on stage and not like stripper dancing, but like tap, jazz, that kind of dance. And so when I would be on stage, the lights are like pointing in my direction and the audience is blackened out. So, it's just a part of my but then I've had other And then when I would dance on TV, we just had cameras and we're just all dancing, looking good in front of each other, and we never see a real audience, so. But anyway. And so, yeah, so I'm not saying that Jesus Christ did away with legal marriage. I'm not saying that he did away with legal marriage. I believe that legal marriage has its place, especially when it comes to generational wealth management, you know, personally. However, for those of us who never marry, which I was married for 32 years legally, so I can check that box of legal marriage. I can check the box. But for those of us who never reach quote unquote legal marriage status in the system, don't feel bad about it because Jesus Christ married us all for those of us who believe. I mean, he's not going to force himself on us. He's not that type of husband. He's not that type of man. So I'm just removing a few comments, guys. No big deal. Okay. So, so if we never reach quote unquote legal marriage status, don't feel bad about it. Hello, Big. How are you? Welcome. Don't feel bad about it because Jesus Christ suffered through the most, the sacrifice ever, the greatest sacrifice ever. He suffered through the greatest sacrifice ever to cover us, to marry us, whether male or female, you know. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, like gender wise, you know, in the world per se, whether male or female, singular or together, you know, either way, he married us all. He married us all, and it has nothing to do with the legalities of this world. It was, his own thing he did. You know what I mean? And so we don't have to feel bad at all. We are saved through a marriage that no one can break, no one can divorce, you know. So when they were asking, Jesus questions about marriage and stuff like that and divorce and things like that, I mean, like, he was here to handle that. He's the final husband that any of us will ever need. We may burn through a lot of each other, we may burn through 5, 6, 7 wives, 5, 6, 7 husbands or whatever while we're here, but the husband of all husbands, that's what we're banking on. That's where the real bank is. Oh, I'm glad you stumbled across my life too. Thank you. Please click like, subscribe, hit the notification button. So yeah, you know, I was married twice for 32 years, so I can check that box, but I'm not going to run out there and get married again. Oh no, oh no, oh no. The marriage of the Lamb is enough for me. Jesus Christ's sacrifice and shedding of his blood was enough for me, you know. And I'm just at the point in my life, whether I hit the wall or ugly or too black or too old or whatever, all that don't even matter to me anymore. I choose to stay free and just love who I want to love, treat whoever, who I want to treat as well as I treat myself, and keep it going. And whatever little inheritance I have, it goes to my kids and grandkids, period. It's really that simple, you know? So I don't feel bad anymore about having two failed marriages on this earth. And I don't desire to have any more legal marriages because I just don't want to be hurt or hurt anyone anymore. I don't want to go through that cycle anymore. So as long as I stay to myself and just have friends, keep my legs closed, you know what I mean? Then that'll keep, my sanity. It'll keep me stable personally, you know, and it'll keep me in a position where I can be fair to everyone, whether male or female, whether relative or not, or whatever the case. I can treat everyone the way I treat myself, you know? And as long as Most High is first in my life, as long as He is first in first position, and then everyone else I treat as well as myself, then, I should have a pretty fair life, a pretty, decent life going out, in my opinion. And I believe that's what Jesus Christ was all about. For those who believe in Him and follow Him, you know, it's not that, you know, we don't live here anymore and won't ever see another day of sorrow. It's not about that. But it's just that we won't be hung up and depressed you know, and thrown off our square because we don't fit, social norms or we're not conforming anymore type thing, you know. Conformity becomes exhausting. But when we renew or not, renew our minds daily in Christ, then, it relieves a lot of the stress. It just does. I mean, it's like you're cool if you're rich, you're cool if you're not. You know, you just kind of go with his flow, and somehow, some way, you know, it's all good. Somehow, some way. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out, guys. I didn't want to make this all long and stuff. So, let's not over tax each other. Let's not stress each other out over legal marriages and divorces on this earth. You know, our main focus, our main focus should be the children, the children, and making sure that our children know Most High, that they know the word, that they understand the real marriage commitment is with Jesus Christ. Whether you male or female, it takes both to create the image of Most High anyway. That doesn't mean you need to rush out and get legally married to somebody. No. Just the fact that you're breathing and you're a male, just the fact that you're breathing and you're female is enough. That's his image right there. That's his image. And then those of us who come into the union to have offspring, then, that's something else. That's a whole different contract. We're obligated to teach them the way so that they won't depart from the word, depart from the way of Most High, depart from generational building and wealth, the real generational wealth and building. keeping his word alive among his image, males and females that he create, that he made, that he feed, you know, those of us who renew our minds daily. Does it mean we're perfect? No, it doesn't. Mm-mm, not at all. We're still here. We're still down here. Whatever down here means, we're still here on earth. We're still here living, in our town or city among other people. But our job is not to conform. Be here, be of service, be of help, be of good fruit, but do not conform every day. We're here to help people, feed people, not be fed. Now, does that mean, we can't go to a restaurant and buy a meal? I'm not saying that. Yeah, we got to eat while we're here. But our souls, our spirit, our mind, our inner self is being fed from somewhere else. We pay attention while we're here because we have to watch and pray. We got to watch. We got to be wise. How can we survive here and make it and endure not paying attention? We have to understand the marriage laws here. We have to understand it to make sure, certain wealth transfer to our children. Why not? We don't depend on it, but we're here. Be here with wisdom. Why not? But we renew our inner self every day from Most High. That's what I'm trying to say. And thank the Lord for Jesus Christ for marrying us so that when these legal marriages down here fail us, whether our spouse die physically, divorce us, or whatever can happen, whatever happens, all kind of stuff happened down here on earth with these legal marriages. We can't depend on them. We know that. But we can depend on the marriage of the Lamb. It's covered in blood. So that's the marriage that matters most. But that don't mean you treat the people down here in these legal marriages bad. You don't do that. You treat everyone as well as you do yourself, especially the person you're legally married to, especially that person. But I choose to stay single so that I can treat everyone else. I don't want to limit myself just to one person again. I did that for 32 years. I can check that box. Praise Most High. Now I'm staying free and just being me and allow myself to be helped and supported by many people now as I can, serve more people. I have kids and grandkids. I love them and I want to give them more. And if I legally commit to someone else, then that takes away from my kids and grandkids, and I'm too old for that. I'm 55, y'all. I'm going to be 56 this year. I'm so happy. It's so exciting to be a matriarch. Whether you're a patriarch or a matriarch in your family, it is a blessing to reach that status. It's a blessing. And I don't take it lightly, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm gonna keep it. I mean, unless Most High say something different, I will never go against Most High. But right now, it looked like the coast is clear for me to stay solo. And and yes, uh, help me out. Help me stay solo by being unwanted. I want to be on an unwanted list. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. Hit the wall, too old, too black, too poor, whatever. I am okay with it. It helps me stay in my position because I have goals. I have, plans for my kids and grandkids, and I don't want to be distracted by trying to fit in and conform to what a man or society feel I need to be. I can't afford it anymore. It's too expensive. That's just my philosophy based on my theory that I'm working on that Most High assigned me called the eternal deficit of mankind. A theory rolling out through this channel. The eternal deficit of mankind. Based on my theory, based on my age, if I type in my age, based on my theory, this is all imaginary, guys. This is not like physical stuff yet. So in my mind, if I type in my age and my theory, type in different characteristics of me, 2 divorces, blah, 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 all this stuff, it would kick out and recommend that I stay uh, divorced, that I focus on my children and my grandchildren. Okay, my theory, if it had like a little machine, the little paper would spit out and say these things. I'm just being silly, but yeah. So I would type all this information in about myself, and it would spit out a printout and tell me and recommend how I should proceed. Now, in the machine, scriptures and stuff would be a factor. Current, tax considerations would be in there, income tax considerations and things, and that's the other thing. Jesus Christ's marriage is not based on uh, tax qualifications. It's not based on being rich or poor. It's not really based on all that per se. But if you happen to be poor, there's an inheritance for you. If you happen to be meek, there's an inheritance for you. I'm just saying. But his system is set up differently than the government system, the legal system. The legal system is based on income. Their system is based on income. Most High system, Jesus Christ's marriage and benefits and inheritance is not based on our income. It's based on our faith, our belief. It's based on obedience. It's not based on income. It's two different systems. So again, my eternal deficit of mankind theory, both systems are in the machine. The eternal deficit of mankind machine. Remember that machine they had in Back to the Future? I'm just kidding. Yeah, but my eternal deficit of mankind machine, um, the theory inside is biblically based and also um, governmental based. And so you would type in your age, your characteristics into the machine, and it would print out recommendations on how to go forward with your life, where you will not almost tie nor owe the government. Because the Bible says, pay Caesar what Caesar is due. But hey, 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 you belong to me. You belong to me. You my wife. You mine. You know, whether you male or female, in Most High system, whether you male or female, you belong to him. So once you punch that clock for Caesar, for your natural husband, your natural wife, whatever the case may be, once you punch that clock and you pay your dues over there, the you belong to me. When it's all said and done, you coming with me. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm finishing up the last part of my life, the last phase of my life. I'm in that retirement phase, you know, making sure that the two generations that are here so far are going to be okay when I'm gone. And I'm at the point in my life because I was a stay at home wife and mom, and I didn't have a pension of my own. I didn't have, benefits of my own. I depended on my spouse for those things. I'm at the point where I cannot afford, based on my eternal deficit of mankind machine, the theory built inside lets me know I cannot afford to be married again, ever. Not legally. Not without it costing my kids and grandkids for generations to come. We've already suffered one really good major hit. We can't suffer another blow. But thank God for Jesus Christ, who is married to us all. You know what I'm saying? He saves us all so that when it's all said and done, and it's time to balance out our scale of debt, and we want to look at what our assets are, we clean. We can pass on through the gates. We won't owe no man, no woman, no government. We won't owe Most High. His blood covers all of that so that we can just pass on through. But we have to labor. We got to suffer. We got to work. That's what this earth is here. It's a place of labor. The whole earth is a place of labor. And we all have to put our time in. But when I'm done punching the clock for this world, whether it's for, you know, the government, a spouse, my family, bloodline family, whatever, when I'm done punching that clock, I want to go with Most High. That's where I want to go. I don't want to just return to the dust of this earth only because that's not all of who I am. Yes, a part of me will go back to the dust of this earth, and that's fine. But there's a part of me that will be going somewhere else, will be released. And that's what I look forward to. But I have to make sure this dust that I leave behind, you know, bear good fruit, multiply it, invest it. And that's my job. And I can't blame nobody else if I come up short. I mean, I can, but it only get me so far because the law has a beginning, middle, and an end point. It'll always come up short. It'll never, never satisfy the flesh. The law is not designed to satisfy the flesh. The flesh will always want more. The greed within it is everlasting for generations to come. And we have to teach our children how to endure our own flesh, our own dust, our own earth, our work, our labor, our investment, how to endure our own investment, our sweat, our own sorrows, because this is not our home. It's just where we work. All right, guys, that's about it. You all be blessed. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to me. Whether I'm right or wrong, that's for you to discern. I'm just expressing myself. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Click like, hit the subscription button, the notification bell. I'm not monetized anywhere on social media at all, but I do have a PayPal if you just want to be a blessing to me. My PayPal is Dr. Leisha the Preacher, just like on my channel. And share my videos. I have, 6,200 videos on here. Binge watch, knock yourself out. You know, there's a lot here for you to watch. Thanks again and have a great day. Bye. And don't forget who your spouse is. Whether you male or female, your spouse is Jesus Christ. Don't forget who your real husband is. Don't forget who your real wife is, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget. No matter who you married to down here and how many times and all of that, there's a point where it's irrelevant. It ain't gonna matter. Well, it do matter, but you gonna come up short. You know what I'm saying? There's a point where you're gonna come up short anyway. But still do your best. Just because you're gonna come up short don't mean you don't do your best. And I think that's where some people get confused. Well, I'm gonna come up short anyway, so I may as well just give up. Or I may as well just, don't care. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. You still got to put in your best work, even though you're going to come up short. Yes, you do. Because again, we're covered by the blood at the end. We're covered right now, actually. But you still got to put your work in. Thank the Lord for the insurance of Jesus Christ. There's no better insurance, life nor death insurance, than that plan right there. Praise the Lord. So live right now. Live right now. Okay, guys. Bye.